Hello, everybody, and welcome to a place that will be unfamiliar for all of you, but for me, is very nostalgic. Season 5 of Egg Carton is coming out soon, and I actually have an announcement date for when it's going to begin at the end of the video, so stick around for that. And to celebrate this news, I have decided that I wanted to take you guys on a tour of some of our past worlds on the SMP. Now, as I mentioned in the Season 4 videos, we've been doing this SMP for quite a while. It just wasn't until Season 4 that I actually managed to start recording, editing, and uploading the videos. So although a lot of this was live streamed, none of it got archived on my YouTube channel. So today we're going to correct this error, and I'll just take you around and show you some of the stuff that we were doing throughout the Seasons 2 and 3. As well as a recap of some of the stuff we missed during Season 4. However, I can't go out dressed like this. This is the skin you all know me with. The skin that I was using during the recording of Season 4 as well as my hardcore series. But I didn't look like this during Season 2. I looked like this. That's right, it's just a Solix Captor skin. It wasn't until Season 3 that I got my own skin that looked more like me and was custom. But if we're going to do this tour, we're going to do it right, and you guys are going to get the full experience, and that includes me looking like the filthy homestuck I used to be. Now, those of you who were wondering why I'm not starting with Season 1, that's because I have lost the world file for Season 1. Now, I think I might know where it is. So next time I do one of these retrospectives, that will be included. However, this time we're just going to have to deal with starting with Season 2. But without further ado, let's start here, which was my home base. As you can see, this was around the time that I started to really get into building as a concept in Minecraft. However, I wasn't quite as good at it as I am currently. You know, I'm starting to use a little bit of texture, some building tricks like the string over the bamboo or sugarcane rather, to keep it from growing. We can also see some of my early redstone work here. This was a XP store. Now it's full of cactus green, but how it works is I had this bamboo, auto bamboo farm, and this auto cactus farm going, and these furnaces would smelt down the cactus and store XP in them. And eventually, if I needed to repair my pickaxe or whatever, I would just break it and get all the XP that was stored in it. Now, this wasn't perfect by any means. I remember these carts constantly broke, and it was kind of really messy. And not a very elegant solution, as, I mean, any redstoners watching can probably tell that this isn't very, you know, isn't the most efficient or clean looking redstone in the world. I'm just gonna shut these off real quick, because otherwise this noise will drive me crazy. As it did while I was playing Season 2. Now this was one of my first ever trading halls. I didn't really... First off, I didn't know about the magma block under the workstation trick yet. I doubt very many people did at the time. It looks like I never finished getting this set up. But we have really cheap mending here, a cartographer for trades, fortune, and this is the start of a long and storied history of me not finishing trade halls. Hopefully I will break the curse in Season 5. Now this was kind of my first attempt at gardening here. My first house. And one of my My bedroom was here. I wasn't really into interior decorations, obviously, at this point. One of my most fond memories of this house, and I will see if I still have any. Well, it doesn't appear that I kept any of them, but for my birthday I walked in and nearly every available square inch of this floor was absolutely full of cakes. I believe it was Ella did it originally, and yeah, that was quite a fond memory of mine. Now this sign says Wallflower was here. I do not, however, remember Wallflower joining us until season 3. So I don't know what that's about. Oh, I did a little bit of decorating here with this little kitchen setup. With the keg. And this was going to be like a little storage room. So you can really start to see like the little bits and pieces of me kind of teaching myself building techniques and stuff. I'm going to pop into the nether real quick. However, I might cut this because I don't know if the nether actually got saved. So I don't know if there was anything ever in the nether. Oh, look at that. It is here. You can see this was the start of a nether highway system that I was working on. Again, this is a behavior that, well, continued through the seasons. And definitely got more advanced in the later seasons. Fun fact, I actually died up here at some point and lost my first pair of elytra that I ever had in Minecraft. Now, I'm not sure exactly where it was, but as you can see, it's a basalt delta, so basically landing up here anywhere meant it was probably either going to wind up in one of these lava pools or a lava pool down there. I think at the time I was just really trying to find a way out of the basalt delta because I really, really hate this biome and the nether. Now, if I remember correctly, over here, I don't know whose cacti these are, but over here was one of my first attempts at a farm. This was a cave spider spawner that I could never really get to work as a proper farm because I couldn't keep the little bastards in and in a place where I could still hit them. Which also was the start of a long and storied history of me not being able to create farms properly. Speaking of creating farms properly, this was Ella's creeper farm. Unlike any of the creeper farms that I ever build, this one actually worked decently well. Until I got blown up a couple times. This was my attempt at a creeper farm. I found a tutorial online for this, and it did not work whatsoever. Never found out why. Over here was a little half-hearted attempt at a train station that I was building. That was going to connect everybody's bases. Not that it was really necessary at this point in time because everybody is kind of like, you'll see, grouped up over here. Over here was the original spawn of the world, in which there was quite a few people who set up in this village immediately before moving out and making up new houses. Fox and Squidward's house from behind. Yeah, everybody just kind of tucked into this village and hung out while working on their other bases. Over here was the original spawn of the world. Now this looks like, ooh, a honey shop. I'm guessing Shadoof made this, and it is very pretty. I never saw the shop. Small Smackerel honey shop policies. 1 stack of honey bottles costs 4 gold ingots. The only have to pay constitutes theft, and a kneecap enforcer shall be hired. If you return your empty bottles, you get a 1 gold discount on your next purchase. Oh. I ain't paying. Coming over here to check out my little mini game. Now, if I remember correctly, the idea of this game was basically going to be parkour meets enemy mob rooms that you would have to, like, get through without dying. You'd have to, like, fight in here, get a key, parkour around, yeah. It was basically going to be like a raid on a castle type themed thing, but I never got around to finishing it, unfortunately. And also, holy crap, is it ugly. I wouldn't make something that looks like this nowadays. I just want it. Now then, let's move on to some other people's builds. This was Ella's first solo base on the server, and I think she did a bang-up job on it, personally. And she really went all out on a lot of this. Oh, wow. It has been a long while since I've seen any of this, and last time I saw it, all of this was empty, so a lot of this was changed after the last time I played, which is kind of incredibly funny to me. And up to her bedroom. And on to the next house, which will be... Oh, hang on. I gotta make this dive. This dive here was probably one of my favorite things to do on the server. Turn around here. Oh! Ah, darn. We can do this. We can make it. There we go. That is such a tight squeeze. Now this here was originally Ragadan's base. And yeah, I was honestly very impressed when I saw it because it kind of sprung up overnight. I have no idea how long it took, but it went from like a simple bridge to all this literally in one night. And this was his original nether portal that everybody wound up using. Like, my portal in Season 4 wound up being a community portal of sorts. This was the community portal of Season 2. I don't know if he ever wound up doing much with the interior. Yeah. This was a fountain. I believe Ella designed this fountain, but I could very well be wrong. I'm so sorry if I'm getting it wrong. Now the mushrooms around, I'm not sure who did. But I really like them. Up here is going to be, I believe this was Shaduf's house. Private. Buzz off. Oh yeah. This is Shaduf's house. Ah, this was her honey farm. And then down to our mines, which wound up intersecting with my mines at some point, I believe. This was originally Nene's. Not this. I was just checking out the mushroom house. This was originally Nene's. Bob was a snowman that did not last very long, unfortunately. And you can see that Nene's map adventures really started early on. Don't go this way, Fox. So this was the first season that we managed to get Fox on Minecraft. Or on the Egg Carton server, at least. And people were really trying to help her out a lot. And the reason it says, don't go this way, Fox, is because She had gone to a couple people's houses and went into their mines and promptly died. I don't remember who originally built the rainbow room here. I don't think it was Nini, but I could be wrong there. Speaking of Fox, next up we can scoot on over here and show off one of Fox's builds. One of the first things Fox does when she gets on the server is she builds this and just completely blows my builds out of the water. This was an egg hotel that she made, and it is amazing. Look at this interior work. Like, I was so impressed when I saw it. Now, she did call it a hotel, however, everybody's just kind of sleeping in the same room, I suppose. Over here, we have an iron farm. That was actually, it worked extremely well if I remember correctly. It did break a couple of times, like I did have to fix this myself just because I personally broke it 2 or 3 times. So there is one more place that I wanted to go check out. This was one of our first nether highways that got completed, and it was completed by Nini and Raganon, which connected their starter bases to their more permanent big build base, which was this thing. And oh wow, I don't remember the balloon being here, but there's a balloon here now. Oh goodness. This looks amazing. Yeah, Nini just randomly decided that she was going to be obscenely good at building. Building beautiful villages and houses down here. And then we can go check out what I'm affectionately going to call the disaster zone. Because down here in their mine, there is an obsidian wall that was erected to hold back a great evil. As you can see, oops, and I have my fireworks selected. There's a lot of destruction and explosions that look like took place here. And that's because a wither was fought here. Now, this wither killed and destroyed all of Nini's stuff, all of Ragadan's stuff, all of their backup gear, and then they called me for help, and I came, and my stuff wound up falling in some lava around here, which looks like they got rid of the lava pool that it fell in, but it was somewhere around here. Yep, just a random pool of lava. Instantly, all my stuff gone. So all of that was for nothing, because it wasn't actually too long after that that this season ended, come to think of it. So that's going to end our tour of A-Carton Season 2. I will be right back. I'm going to get changed, and I will see you guys over on Season 3. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Season 3. I'm going to start inside my starter house here. And just to show you, I did indeed change my skin for this. This was the skin that I used throughout Season 3, and it is very similar to my Season 4 skin, but the pants are blue. Overall, switching from Season 3 to Season 4, I just felt like it was too much blue. I really feel like this was the season that I did the most building on, outside of the Nether highway of Season 4. Here you can see one of the first things that was built on the server was an Among Us pixel art made by Ella, which is kind of a shame because it's something that we don't do very often. Pixel art on the server. But yeah, I thought it was very entertaining. While she was building it, she made me stand right here facing this way the entire time. And I thought the whole situation was extremely funny. Over here was Laguna's house. This was the first time Laguna played on a carton. I went around and did some of the texturing on the outside of the house, as well as I helped a little bit on the interior. Layout and whatnot was all her, though. And I think it looks really nice. Now, over here was Wallflower / Ella's house. Now, the amount of time that I have accidentally stripped these logs coming in and out of the house. If I'm holding an axe, I almost always would strip one of these logs. The chickens were also kind of a big problem because, yeah, I'd walk by and just get like 18 eggs immediately. And over here was Ella's section. Originally it was just this upper floor, but Ella dug down and made a nice little home out of Wallflower's jail cell / basement area. Right down here, we have a bubble elevator. And down here at the bottom, it leads to this, which was a mob farm that was actually pretty damn efficient, if I remember correctly. And then this should lead to a XP grinder, if I remember correctly. Yep, here we are. Looks like it was for zombies, as well as the enchanting room. You know, I'm actually a really big fan of long minecart tracks like this in Minecraft. It's a shame I don't build them more often. But I'm just watching this and I'm like, man, you could really knock down some of these walls, add some like glass and like some back setting to it, make it look really cool. Right over here is Shaduf's hole. This was Shaduf's starting base. I don't really remember much about... I don't think I interacted with Shaduf very much during this season. It's a shame. Grubhub. Fox and... Oh, this was Fox and Jamin's hole. Now, I don't know much about Fox and Jamin's stuff, except that they wound up building a summer house that way. The dirt shack. Dort's dirt. Coming back over this way. This bridge, is one of my designs. And I absolutely love it, although it does, looking at it now, look really thin. Like, I should have made this portion a little bit thicker, maybe thickened out the support beams more. I also don't remember the banners. I didn't do the banners. I did not start messing with banners until season 14. Or not 14. What am I talking about? Season 4. And the bridge led over here to Sassy's little island. Which, as far as Sassy's builds go, I think this was one of my favorites. Just because, I don't know, I just really like the look of this house. Very modern. Oh, I suppose Sassy made the banners. Makes sense. I thought she did an amazing job with the texturing and stuff with it. The overall shape. I loved this waterfall look. And this is a storage barn that I haven't seen. This is my first time seeing this. Wow. That's Sassy's little island. Over here, I believe this was Bidoof or Feline. I can't remember which. Alright, on to some of the bigger stuff that got built during the season. This dock area here. This portion was still under construction when the season ended. But the windmill and this farm area here was all Ella. And it was honestly quite impressive to me. She really got it looking curved, which is something that's kind of difficult to do in Minecraft. And over here in true Nini fashion, just a sprawling city, absolutely filled with stuff. This really lovely city made by Nini Cat, and I believe Raganon helped out a bunch as well. Just really impressive towers, really impressive looking buildings. Checkered board floor, construction in progress. Oh, that's kind of disappointing. I remember seeing this building like get constructed over time, and oh wow, it was going to be quite large too. That's a shame. I was looking forward to seeing that get completed. Oh, you know what? No, this was Feline's house, wasn't it? Yeah, so that tower over there must have been Shadoof. Please do not steal. I have a wife and kids. Feline's house of fun and adventure. I love the little signs people have around. Oh, I remember. First off, I loved the greenery of this house. I was always a big fan of that. Oh, she had a dragon banner? I didn't see that. Me and Ella came here one time and accidentally started a raid. And we had to quickly, like, beat the raid and fix the damage before Nini Cat got back on. I mean, I really want to spend a lot of time, like, going through every single thing about Nini's area, but, like, she just builds these massive, complex cities every time we play. And there's just so much to look at. And this one is actually, looking at it, absolutely tiny compared to her Season 4 area. Like, look at this. I remember coming out of my house and seeing more and more buildings pop and be like, wow, that looks so massive. And her Season 4 stuff absolutely dwarfs this. It's incredible. Oh, and of course it wouldn't be a Nini Cat base if there wasn't a large map. Nini has always been our resident cartographer. And I really appreciate it for her because it's always really fun to come look at her maps and see the progress everybody's making all at once. Now, before we get to my tower, I'm going to come over here and show off a couple other things real quick. Namely, this building, which was the post office made by Sassy. And here you can see everybody who was playing on the server. How it works is you just put stuff that you wanted to send to one of the other eggs in one of their PO boxes, and Sassy would come through and deliver it to them. And she made us all set up little mailboxes. So that was a lot of fun. I believe this was Fox and Jamin's beach house. Which, the last time I saw it, it was not this detailed. It was very much still under construction. And while working on it, they were staying up here. They built a long road leading to it. Oh, I put this here as a joke because, yeah, they were complaining about not being good builders. And this was their little tower thing. Which, I don't know how they got up there. Because I'm not seeing a way to the roof from... Oh, right there. Here we are. I don't know, it was pretty rare that I came over this way. So, a lot of this looks new to me, like, they didn't have a roof last I saw. Now, it wasn't being rude or anything, like, I loved visiting the other players, it's just I got extremely busy near the end of the season with this. I was constructing a huge tower. It was full of lore and secrets and whatnot. This was the first floor of it, which was an entire maze, and I made several of the other players on the server run through it to see if they could find the exit on their own. I don't remember who had the records, but yeah, I did keep note of the records. I just don't remember at this point. It's been so long. Now walking into the lobby here, I was gonna have glow ink squids with different little information, with these red signs being errors. And I made a little statue of a hand. I thought that was sufficiently evil corporation looking. But the main thing that I worked on after that maze was actually down here. Now, this doesn't seem like much, right? Digging this area out? Well, oh, I constructed a road going up. I was gonna have some build like a delivery vehicle down here or something, but as well as a road going that way and a road going that way. I wasn't gonna have one over here, but yeah, as well as like a road ramp down somewhere. I don't really remember what I was planning at this point because it doesn't look like I had a ton of room to work with. But down here, as you can see, is what I spent most of my time this season doing, which was digging a hole down the bedrock layer, which took me forever. I set this up as a temporary means to get up here. And right down here was the bone zone. It was Ella who decorated this area. So yeah, this took me probably the most time out of any project on any of the seasons thus far. But hopefully I can beat this record in both scale and time it takes during Season 5. Oh, this must be one of Fox and Jamin's areas. I don't think I've ever visited them here. Oh, wow. I think it's incredible to see that they, their build skills together just kind of like randomly exploded. Because this is very impressive to me. Which, I saved Josh's for last because I believe between him and, whoops, Nini were easily the two biggest builders this season. I mean, look at this. All of this is copper and granite. Far end in. Very nice looking tavern, honestly. I jumped this, but it's lapis. Wow. It's been a while since I've been here. Like, this building I hadn't seen yet. I mean, I remember he was asking for copper delivery, and it took me forever to get to him with all the copper. Oh, he set up a little hotel. Amazing. And even with this area partially constructed, I came up over this hill, and that was my first encounter with Josh's base, was seeing this view, you know? Alright, so if I just head back this way, at least I hope it's this way. It is. Oh, as it turns out, I went the hard way because I remember I went this way and then up and then all the way around like this. I'd have sworn it was much farther than that though, because it took me like an hour to get here on foot through all this packed snow. And it turns out he was right here. I didn't even have to go through the snow area. Oh, there's little stairs in the back. That would have been much more convenient if I had known. So that's going to do it for our Season 3 exploration. I'm going to jump cut here to show off Season 4. And I will have my Season 4 skin on. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Season 4. And yes, I did put my Season 4 skin back on for this. So I decided to start here in Sunbase since this was where I spent most of my time throughout Season 4. And I wanted to show off a couple things that I don't remember if I did or didn't get a chance to show off during the regular episodes I was uploading. Namely, we're going to take a quick tour inside of Sunbase, just to show off some of this stuff. Me and Ella separated it by halves. So this was my room over here. And the little bed design that I thought was pretty cool. And repeatedly got called a race car bed by the other server members. But I'm not bitter. And over here was Ella's room. And her bed looked amazing. She had like a canopy design. The blazes were a prank that I don't think I got on camera. We'll get to where I got all of those later. And oh, the pretty good map of our server. You can see kind of how far we were spread out this season. I helped out in making this lighthouse here. And up top here, you can see that I have lights set up that actually rotate around. Which, if anyone knows my experience with Redstone, is impressive for me. The miracle that that didn't somehow blow up the top of the lighthouse. Up here was the gunpowder farm for this season. I think Ella did an amazing job on this. She turned it into a large garden farm area with another fountain. And this one was actually quite a bit more productive than the gunpowder farm from Season 2. One other building around here that's also currently unfinished. Here we are. This was going to be the trade hall for this season, and I didn't get it finished, and this time it wasn't out of laziness. I was working quite hard on all of this. The issue was this. All of this is quartz. And it's also why I am probably never going to build anything out of quartz ever again. I wound up making this little fountain feature out of andesite. You can see that I set up a lot of trade area here for the villagers. And I even had magma blocks put down, because this was around the time that I learned about the magma block under the workstation trick to help reduce lag. I also had plans to have zombie access running around it so that I could zombify villagers and get hero, or not hero of the village, but just the discount for de-zombifying them. Never got around to finishing it because of how much quartz it wound up taking. Now I'm gonna step into the nether real quick just to show off exactly why that never got finished. It's I'm sure some people out there probably get thinking, oh, why not just get more quartz, you know? It'd be easy. Well, just have a peek around here. As you can see, I mined out all of this area. Nearly. Oh. Nope. Ah, screw it. We'll just creative mode it. You know, quite an extensive area here. And after mining all of this myself and combining it with... Oh, hang on, there's more area over here as well. I mean, yeah, not a small amount of netherrack I had to mine through. And then combining all that with this area over here, which I will go into spectator mode to show off. All of this was done by me. And then these two wide tunnels are all Ella's doing. And you can see how far away these got. All of that. And we still wound up with far less quartz than we wound up needing for the project. In total, I mined out 143,000 pieces of netherrack and wound up getting 3,000 nether quartz ore. Now, the majority of that was with fortune, so probably closer to 6,000 pieces of nether quartz. And that's just the quartz that I collected. I also was, near the end of this, paying people in netherite for quartz. As well as Ella helping me gather nether quartz because it was her trade hall as well, since it was in our kind of shared area. Alright. So this was the nether highway that we wound up, I think did get featured in a couple of the episodes. Without going into too much detail. I went through and I built this huge long structure and connected everybody's nether portals up so it's easier to get around. Especially to the people who are very far away, like Josh. And I even color-coded the areas, like the rainbow area is Shadoof. Then it goes to the red, pink, and white for Josh and Feline. Getting to Sunbase is blue and yellow for me and Ella. And Mushroom for Nini. And red for Fox and Draven. So coming through here, I left this kind of like, it's supposed to look like the overworld type carpeting. And because this nether portal that's outside of my starter base wound up being kind of a hub nether portal for a while. But while we're here, I can show off some of the other builds, namely my starter base that I did work on quite a bit. You kind of got glimpses of it throughout the series, but I don't think I've ever showed it off fully in one video. Oh no, I definitely have. In fact, what am I saying? I've showed off all of these builds because I was doing ECRB this season. Which means I can be super brief about showing these off. And just kind of showing off the things that I missed in ECRB. Mainly something that I didn't get in the most recent ECRB for Nini's area. Which is... whoop, this. She built an entire zoo, and I think that's amazing. We had pandas. There were frogs here. I don't know what happened to them. And apparently we have a panda escape artist here. And then coming down here, there's a little aquarium where we have axolotl and tropical fish and a squid. Oh. Oh, there's like little exhibits. Here we have the goat pen. And the little fox den. And oh, mushrooms. And polar bears. Man, I would have loved to see what else she added to this. This is incredible. Now I'm gonna pop into spectator for this just to help speed things up a little bit. But apparently, I didn't really show off a whole lot here. Namely, this room, which has a map of her area. And you can kind of see how large it got. And all this happened pretty quickly because, like I said, Nini is one of those players that every time I logged in and looked over at where she was building, there'd be like 3 or 4 new buildings and an expanded territory, and it's always quite amazing. This was her storage room. According to her, there was a secret in her base somewhere that I never found. Not sure what that's about, but oh. Here you can see her little map wall showing off everything from Sunbase to oh. You found the you found some mangroves. You can see just how far everybody spread. But this being like the main spawn area here where it says Shadoof. And then Brad's, Sassy, all the way down to Sunbase, and all the way up to Fox and Jamin. And it does not look like she ever made it to Josh's base. Here's a little bit of a map of Sunbase. We have a little bit of a cactus farm going on, as well as her bee farm, which I was looking through the other day and I did find this. I don't know how I missed this, but it's like a nice little garden area, and then through here is the bee farm. So I don't know if that little secret garden area is the secret she was talking about, but I mean, I also found this, but I could not figure out for the life of me how to get into this. And it Just seemed like some miscellaneous storage anyway. And we can go check out some of the other things that were happening, the little unfinished products or projects and whatnot. Like over here, I started this and started the trade hall almost immediately after, so I never really got a chance to finish it, but I was working on that mansion build that I wanted to construct. Just to give a rough estimate of how big it was going to be, this was just going to be one room of it. With this as a hallway, I was going to have another room here and here. I was going to have like a really large room here and a couple very smaller rooms like filling this area out. But unfortunately, that takes a lot of time, and between working on a couple small projects, recording, and making sure I had videos edited by Friday, it kind of killed my ability to do that. But this season, I am going to, when I start a project, really heavily focus on it, make sure I gather as much of the materials needed as possible first, and then build it as quickly as possible. Oh, this I don't think I showed off at all. It's just another little building that popped up. I'm not sure who built this one. I think this was Nini and Raganon as well. Yeah, very nice structure to it. Good detailing, and I really like the rope that's coming off of it. Oh, nice little bridge. The bridge is new, I didn't see that before. I can pop over here to Dragonon's house. I don't know if I showed off a completed version of the outside of his house, but yeah, here you go. I know I popped in and messed with him a couple times throughout the series, so this is what he's been working on. And then we got to Shadoof's little rainbow area, which the primary amount of work that she was putting on into the base was stuff like this, the turtle sanctuary, these gardens, which every time I flew past these, I loved it. The little swirls she's got going on here, amazing. Little head, as well as this, which I believe was just yeah, XP farms. Silk Touch giving you the ability to move spawners has probably been one of my favorite additions to the server, just because of the creative ways people have been using it, like moving them around and keeping them organized and whatnot, building around them. Unfortunately, Doug didn't have a lot of time to play on this server this season, because he was actually going to build up a law firm here. Doug and Doug's law firm. Or Doug and Doug's attorney at law or something like that. And me and Ella had the idea of building a detective agency next to it eventually, but this never came to be. Nope, that would have killed me. I need to get my elytra back in form. Here we have Lil Runky's frog, which she did do quite a lot of work on the interior since the last time I'd seen it, and she even added some little frogs. This was the frog that everybody met up to go to the Ender Dragon fight. I'm gonna pop back over to my portal for the next two bases. The first one's going to be Fox and Jamin. Now, they did add a way out that was supposed to be horse accessible. Yep, here it is. Now, there's a couple things that I really enjoyed about their base, namely this barn I thought was super cool looking, and this raid farm, less cool looking, but definitely a lot more functional. Still not entirely sure how this thing worked. But what I do know is it got me killed a couple times. I believe you were meant to stand here, crouch, and swing. And as you did, this would fill up. Now, can't do it anymore, but there was a way to stand here, and while standing here, anybody using it would hit you, and that has caused me... That caused me at least one, and then just generally falling to my death has caused me quite a few as well. Alright, gonna pop back over to their portal. Oh, wait, before I do that, one thing I don't think I ever got to show off in the actual season. They did have a storage system. Yeah. Quite impressive organization. Alright, I'm gonna cut here and cut back when I get to Josh's area. And here we are. Now this place did expand quite a bit since the last time I saw it. We added quite a few new buildings, and I just think it looks amazing. Every time I see it, it's impressive. Oh, looks like he had a couple buildings planned up here. Sorry, that was just a really good view. I don't know if I ever got it in an actual video, but I believe it's over here. Over here was his original starter base. Gorsh Recon Base 1. And I did have to help him spell his name on these signs because, I don't know, he forgot the R on a lot of these. I don't know if he was just tired when he first got on or what, but it was just kind of weird. Well, I'm gonna pop back over to Sunbase and do the signing out stuff. But stick around because I have an announcement to make. And with that trip down memory lane out of the way, it's time for the announcement. 8 Carton Season 5. When is it coming out? Sooner than you might think, actually. Right over here, I have a special little book that shows the release date is right now. As this video comes out for the next couple hours, I'm going to be live streaming, as well as a couple of the other members will be live streaming, the first day of 8 Carton being open. And episode 1 of 8 Carton Season 5 will be out the following Friday at 9:30 at my normal time. There won't be a Friday video the following week because, however, there will be a special live stream of mine where I will be playing on 8 Carton for my birthday, July 6th. And of course, with the introduction of a new season, I needed a new skin. Oh, I look a bit nerdy in armor, I am realizing. There we go. I made the skin in order to closer match my little PNG tuber. I even got the little suspenders on the back. In any case, I hope you guys had as much fun with this as I did. And I hope you guys enjoy 8 Carton 5 as much as I'm going to. I will see you guys. I hope to see you all either on the stream or next week Friday for a new video. And until then, keep it weird.